All right, what are we talking about? The Mud Bogs?
Today we're talking about the Mud Bogs. Welcome to the channel. It's been 2 years since we've played in the mud.
2 years. It took 2 years to get dumb enough to do it again.
To remember the mud. But it's still fun. So we went mud bogging. This is all your idea, Will.
You know, the Iron County Fairgrounds, they had a mud bog, and I was thinking about putting the junker in it. I was like, it'll never drag race again if I mud bog it because you'll never get the dirt out. But I was like, it could win. So and then I realized I had popped a freeze plug from drag racing at the airstrip, and I hadn't fixed it. And I was like, yeah, I know what I'll do. I'll take my little beater daily driver through the mud just to see how it does. Only going to 4K in neutral.
Yeah, the Super Trailblazer, the littlest. That was the only vehicle. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. And then Josh, what did you bring?
So Will texted us on Friday night at like 10 o'clock and asked if we wanted to go, and I wasn't sure yet. I made up my mind about 2 hours beforehand, and I took my Polaris General out with my son.
And they have a side-by-side class and a four-wheeler class. They got all kind of different classes, and so you're totally, this is a good thing. And so you ride with your boy, and
yeah,
you did okay. And then I decided I was going to take my wife's Ford Excursion. She has a 6-liter Ford Excursion that I've been wanting to fund and swap for 12 years now. I'm waiting for the engine to die. Hasn't happened. 400,000 miles, still going strong. I have the Unicorn, apparently.
6.0 gang. Really.
6.0. Yeah, so it's doing great. So we recently put a Carly lift on it and some big 35-inch tires. And I thought, well, we're going to take the wife's car.
Can you turn it off? FedEx? Oh.
It's all right.
It's fine. We'll be fine.
There's a FedEx truck out there, but not a big deal. So I'm going to drive my wife's 6-liter Excursion. And I have a soccer game, a kid's soccer game, so I'm going to be late. So I'm like, Will, sign me up. Get us signed up, and I'm bringing all my kids. I got 4 kids, all their dirt bike helmets.
So who paid your entry fee?
Will did. Thanks, Will. I think I paid some of it. I don't know. I think Will got me signed up. So we show up there, and yeah, everything's great. We have I'm the first one to go, aren't I? Because you're later and you're later.
Yeah.
So I'm the first one to go. And the pit's like really deep, and we're rolling Everest, and we pull up, and when they, for whatever reason, Will or Josh or both put Jenny Welch, which is my wife, as the driver, which it is her car, so I could see him logically putting, well, this is Jenny's car, so Jenny Welch, she's on the thing. So we show up, not thinking about it, and I pull up the starting line.
I don't know if I buy that. I think I put Todd Welch as the driver when I did the digital sign up. And when Josh had the paper, the tech card, he took it upon himself to put Jenny Welch as the driver.
So
because he wanted to see Jenny drive.
To be fair, if you guys ever drive through Cedar and you see an Excursion about a foot taller than anything else around, and you're at a stoplight and you hear it spool up, it's a race.
It's a race.
So I figured that Jenny would want to race her own vehicle in the mud.
Yeah, it's logical.
And I was wrong. Clearly.
You were not wrong, actually. Turns out you were absolutely right. Well, I pull up to the line, and they flag me and say, no, you can't drive. It says Jenny's got to be the driver. And she's kind of a little nervous, and I'm like, well, I guess you're going. She's like, okay, here we go. So she hops over.
I think I got that on film. Like the announcer's like, oh, no,
that's
you
not
can't.
Jenny.
That's not Jenny.
Yeah.
And like you swapped, and Jenny came out and was like,
it's like, what do I do?
All right, I guess I'm driving.
So we have a little shenanigans happening here. Jenny decided she didn't want to drive. She recruited somebody else to drive, but we're going to kick him out of the driver's seat and put her in the driver's seat.
Oh, they're making Jenny drive. Perfect.
I'm not sure who that guy is. It's not Jenny. That's Jenny.
So I got a pretty quick lesson in mud bogging. So I'm teaching her how to do something I've never done. Great idea. So I said, well, kind of, there's like, they make some treks. We're not the first people to go. They send the really super guys first, you know, and as they go, the pit turns easier, it dries out, and there's like a trail.
A rut, a couple
through
ruts to go through it.
So I said, line up in the ruts, and we'll put it in 4 low and just go. They have a timing light. There's no reaction time, but when it goes green, that means you can go, and once you cross the beams, it'll time you. And so she just flat-footed it and went through.
That was a good run.
So we got like, it was like 9 seconds, 9.181 or 9.
Your total time was 18,
I think it was
right?
I think it was 9.18 or something on the first run.
9.081, so 9.181, and so we had no idea. And it turns out after that first one, we were in pretty good shape. So we're actually had a pretty good pass. She had a lot of fun. She was, that's our first like time ever competing in anything, motorsports wise. So she had that good adrenaline rush. She's a little bit shaky afterwards, and kind of wound up and was like, yeah, man, she's ready to go. And so she had a great run. And so after me, I think were you next year?
It was Will.
Oh, Will's next.
Yeah, then they went to stock. So I have this 2007 Chevy Trailblazer, and I just put some BFG All-Terrain tires on it like a month ago. It's stock other than that.
That's legit.
And so I'm in the stock class, and I told my wife, I said, hey, I got a great idea for date night. Let's take this piece of crap Trailblazer with the 5.3 LS V8 engine to a Mud Bog without a lift kit or anything.
That runs pretty good in first gear. Second gear, not so fun.
So I did a couple test launches before, and I had tuned the car, but it's short shifts in low range. Something GM apparently didn't want you to hit the rev limiter in low range when you're hot rodding it, maybe to save the drivetrain. I don't know. So it's like shifting at 4,000 RPM right when it barely gets to the power. So I'm like, whatever. So I put it in low range, and I go, and it goes, and then it like hits a rev limiter and slows down and goes and goes. But I did finally make it through.
He might get it. He might get it.
And I heard the announcer was mocking me. What did he say?
He said, he's like, this car pulls up. He's like, fresh from I-15, which is a local highway here.
Straight off I-15.
Straight off I-15 here is, and we're watching, and we're like, dude, he's gonna get stuck. This is gonna be the only guy the whole day gets stuck. I actually thought he's gonna get stuck. I think he's gonna make it. Your bumper is like a
mud
plow.
A mud plow. Yeah.
A plow. It's like pushing the whole, like everybody behind you went faster because you pushed half of the pit out of the thing into the, I mean, it was so slow. Like, and I thought you were gonna get stuck for sure.
But anyways, I made it through, and then I heard the announcer said like, never had a doubt or something like that.
Never had a doubt.
Never had a doubt that I was going to make it or whatever. And
Everyone's like, he's gonna get stuck.
and I made it through the pit, and my wife was really nervous for getting stuck. I'm like, what? They'll just pull us out if we get stuck. Who cares?
Yeah.
And I drove it back without any incident, and I was like, stupid gas or trash thing, cutting in and out, power, no power. But I was like, whatever. So made it through, went back, parked it, and I was like, great, we'll just wait for our next run. And then you went.
Turn.
Yeah, so then we went with a side-by-side class, and there was one other vehicle, and there was brother, sister swapping drivers. So I was like talking to the dad and a couple people, because I was like, I don't know what gear range. If you're not familiar with the Polaris, they have high and low. And everybody was like, oh, you should do low range. And I was like, okay. So I decided to do high range, put it in four-wheel drive, locked both of the axles up, put it in high range. We left, and I knew I had made a mistake when I looked down at the tach that was at 8,000 RPM and the speedometer that said 15, that we had definitely made a mistake, but it was too late.
So what was slipping for people that don't speak?
So
What
there's a clutch in there, there's a belt in there, and there's like a cogged belt. So it was slipping really bad, but my son had a blast. I actually just put him in the front seat because I was like, there's no airbags, like whatever.
Yeah.
So he had a helmet. Todd and Will both had us hooked up with helmets. So he got to go through there, and he had a blast.
He's what, like first grade?
Yeah, he's started first grade this year. Yeah.
He's big smiles. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, so he was hyped about everyone going. Like, he was just having a good time. And then they ran the classes backwards the second time. So then
you got a back-to-back go,
yeah,
basically.
so they ran the four-wheelers, and then we went back around. And this time I did try low range, and it went good. We didn't get stuck. We were definitely faster, I think, than anybody else.
Yep. Long story short, what was the result of your 2 runs?
First place.
You got a big old trophy, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I heard this was Josh's biggest trophy ever. So if you're an
It is.
event promoter, organizer, you need to make bigger trophies, because the biggest trophy Josh has ever won, which he's won many trophies, is from a mud bog in his side-by-side.
local county fair.
At the local county fair, not at like a diesel event, drag race event.
But I got to do it with my son, which was what made it even better.
Yeah.
And like, we went upstairs to go get a trophy, and like, he said hi, snatched it, and like sprinted down the stairs. And I was like, I had to go get him and say thank you and stuff. But he was pumped.
It was good.
That's cool. What was the result of your? So then, second time around,
we had
now
a
it's
second
your
run.
turn.
We had a second run, and at this point, we knew we needed to do a boosted launch, because we knew we were pretty close. But if we could just get a little bit faster off the start, we'd have a much better result. So I kind of was coaching Jenny how to do a boosted launch. Problem is, we're in 4 low. It takes a lot of brakes to hold a boosted launch in 4 low with all that gear reduction. So I said, just do the best you can. So she got on the brakes. We started rolling. When we started rolling, I'm like, you got to just go, because if you cross the beams, you're on the brakes, you're just going to kill your time. So when we started moving, I said, all right, just go. So she nailed it this time, and we made it through a little bit quicker. The pit was a lot worse, because the second round they redid it all, put a bunch more water in. It was actually a harder pit the second time than the first time, I think. But we actually went through a little faster. So we ended up taking 3rd place overall. We lost to 2nd place by 2/100ths of a second.
His time is a 9.077, total 18.258.
They average they just add your times, your first run, your second run together, and that's your time. So almost got 2nd place. We did get 3rd place. It was like $85, man. Got a sweet check, so we made some money.
You got paid
We
playing the mud.
got paid. So Diesel made it through.
So you're a fan of 6.0 Power Strokes, I'm taking it. I mean, didn't you just buy one?
Well, maybe.
I mean,
Or
I
two.
mean, your wife?
I
Did you
did.
buy one? You just bought one too?
Yeah, we got some 6.0 stuff coming up. But honestly, after 400,000 miles, I'm like, all right, it's time to start playing this thing. I'm not going to blow it up, so I'm going to make it fast.
So you guys just love your 6.0s, right?
I'm sorry, but that is the best stock truck I've ever driven in my entire life.
I like it more than your 5.3.
Guys, I have multiple texts on my phone from both Todd and Josh saying, Will, you need to buy a 6-liter. You need to buy a 6-liter.
I would settle with you just driving a diesel every day. Sorry. What?
I've got a surprise for you guys.
Oh,
You
what's
bought a
that?
6.0?
I bought a 6-liter. I want you to come look at it. It's outside. Come check out the 6-liter. Bring
What?
camera. Will bought a 6-liter.
Oh my God, no.
Come check out my new 6-liter. Will bought a 6-liter.
Does it have a 4L80? Why, Will? Why?
Because he told him to. I didn't tell him to buy a 6-liter.
So you told me to buy a 6-liter. So here it is. Bone stock.
Oh,
Check it out.
What are you going to do with this piece of crap?
What do you do with a 6-liter?
boost it, hopefully.
Turblowers.
Turblowers.
At least you have a truck. So, now
So
you can actually...
check it out. Has 8-lug axles, 4L80, iron block 6-liter with the LS3 rods that they say give up at about 1,000 horse. So we're going to see where the rods fail.
Oh, dude. This is competition 6.0.
This is 6.0
This is 6
versus
liter,
6.0.
6 liter
So you think
Ford
your
versus
stock
Chevy.
6 liters fast? Do you think it could take this thing in a drag race right now?
No, the heads are off of it. They're actually right. Actually, if you want to get real technical, Eric, right here.
Oh, your heads are right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, you would beat me in a drag race right now.
Now, I would say, when I test drove this, I was sorely disappointed with how slow this was. It would lose to a stock 6 liter in a drag race.
Oh.
Well, we're going to put some boost on this and see how it does. So this is Will's new 6 liter project to join Team 6.0. Because you guys said buy a 6.0, so I bought a 6.0.
Ford versus Chevy, classic
Do you want to
battle.
hear what this diesel sounds like?
No. It sounds like crap, I can already tell you.
At least it's not a 5.3.
Ah, exhaust. Oh, you got exhaust tick.
Exhaust leak.
Exhaust leak? Got a broken stud on the exhaust side, or broken bolt? Dude, this thing's cherry. 240,000 miles?
What'd you pay for this piece of crap?
$3,500 for this piece of crap.
And it's only on the runs.
Reverse works sometimes.
Reverse works sometimes. Awesome.
Can't be that bad.
Yeah, no.
Will it do a burnout? He tried and it would not do a burnout. That's some torque management. So, I know this isn't diesel, but you know what? It's gonna beat your 6.0 because this is a real 6.0.
Oh yeah, we'll see that.
Now it's not gonna last 400,000 miles like your wife's, because
Let's get him last night.
it might last 300 miles after I go to turbo.
I'll give you this. At least you don't have to pull the cab off to work on it. I'll give you that.
Yes.
Sorry, let's go back and finish our video now that you've seen the piece of crap that I
Oh
bought.
my gosh.
Oh, I wish you really bought a 6.0.
I bought a 6.0. I had to keep this a secret all weekend.
That must have been hard for you.
It was very hard. Lots of people knew about it.
Oh my gosh.
Were you clueless? You had no idea?
I didn't know.
Did you have any idea?
I had no idea. I told everyone that you were looking at Corvettes, and they were like, "Wow."
Do you know why I bought this? I looked at a Corvette and I was like, it's 2,000 fixed rear end. If I buy an old truck, already has 8 lug rear end. I got to swap to a 4L80. Already has a 4L80.
You could king of the street that truck in the gas class.
King of the street in the gas class?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, you got a month. We can do it.
I wish I had that truck for the Mud Bog,
Oh yeah.
That would have been
because I think it had a little more ground clearance. It would have done
you
better.
could have lifted it. Real
Anything would have done better.
quick. Portion.
Anything would have done better than the Trailblazer.
Anyway.
I think the scariest part about your Trailblazer was not at the Mud Bog. It was on Monday when we went to lunch and you took me in the Trailblazer, and there was around 65. The steering wheel was like shaking real bad, and then he's like, "But don't worry, once we hit 75, it kind of evens out." And he wasn't wrong. As we accelerated, it did smooth out,
A
but
little
it
bit of
was
dirt in the wheels.
So I spent like $30 at the car wash
How much did you spend?
cleaning the mud out of my tires, and they still would shake. There's still mud. Like, that car is destroyed.
They have like a credit card that you can run,
Yeah.
and it just says pay for your time, and eventually it turns off. Like they
Yeah.
have a fail safe, so it can't run forever. So that happened 4 times to me that it ran out.
And the fail safe's at like 30 or $40 or something.
I don't know. Don't know. I was laying. I should have been videoing this. This is the most fun thing to video, and I didn't get any of it. I was literally laying on the grate in the car wash, being grateful that the water was warm, because the mud water was falling on me was warm, and it was cold at night, about 1 in the morning. I was still just trying to get the mud out with the flashlight. I had safety goggles and everything because it was just getting nasty. I took the worst mud bath of my life. Like four times, and I finally said enough, and there's still dirt.
So the last question everyone on YouTube wants to know: will you ever enter your wife's vehicle in the Mud Bog again?
No.
I think, see, and I brought this up to you before. I was like, if your kids went, I felt like it should have been your kids' job to clean it.
It's too late. They were asleep. I wanted to work on it before.
These guys were
rock hard.
seasoned pros here. They had WD-40 and you used PAM. I brought
Cooking
my
spray.
side-by-side with the dealer applied Armor All, and I paid the price. I certainly did.
Yes.
I just took mine to a shop. I was
Yeah,
like,
you're smart.
I was like, you guys do it. I did lose a hood on the way home, though. That was really unfortunate.
Yeah, that's sad. Blew off.
I didn't even get a second run because so much mud was caked in the fan. It fell and shorted out some spark plug wires, and it was missing and shaking. And there's mud in the balancer, and the engine was all throwing codes because it was mad.
That's how you know an LS is a piece of crap. You just bought another one.
Oh, I can't believe you just bought that.
Anyway, the
Don't
Mud
you
Bog
want to
was fun.
see how much power it can make on a real dyno for it actually? All these guys do this engine dyno stuff. I was like, let's put real rear wheel horsepower in this and see what happens.
I would almost rather you put a roots blower on that. Like, just be obnoxious with it.
Like
Instead of
over the
turbocharged-
hood?
Yeah.
No, you
Like
gotta
a
make. You gotta
big
make.
hat.
you gotta-
I
make good
want to see
power.
what an Aggressor 480 or 488 will do on that. Maybe 2 480s.
Do it.
That's a lot of turbo.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure it'll take it just fine. But anyway, it's about Mud Bogs.
It's not mud bogs,
It's
not
not mud bogs.
turbo and crappy
Crappy LSs.
LSs.
They're not crappy. They got a place. I'm sure once you get
Yeah.
running, it'll be fun.
In the junkyard.
That's where you usually
Where
find them.
that, where that one came from. No, they're pretty fast. They go faster than I've ever gone before.
Yeah, there's
No, really, that is the slowest truck I've ever bought.
Really?
Yeah, it's really slow. It's pathetically slow. It
Well-
runs on all cylinders, but it's just
It sounds like we're going to have a lot of new products to add. We're going to have 4L80 transmission builds, 5R110s, I'm sure, if I'm involved.
Yeah, we're already doing a couple motor builds on some 6 liters. So
Yeah.
watch out for some videos in the future, some fun stuff coming up. So if you haven't seen on this channel before, so if you've made it this far in the video, you've got some good Easter eggs here. So anyway, guys, I gotta go pick up my kids from school. So I'm out of here.
all right. See ya. Catch
See
you
you
next
guys
video.
later.
Take care.